Good day, everybody. I'm Liezel Noah, and I'm going to be presenting a program which we are currently running at Cura Westbrook. This program is called Find Your Rhythm, and it is a combination of different philosophies. You will notice concepts from the Kadai and Orff incorporated into this program. We focus predominantly on the foundation phase from our learners in the Group 5 all the way to Grade 3, where learners are introduced to music literacy concepts as well as music notation and pitch especially. We try to involve learners from the ages of 5 in a fun and engaging way using color and simple ideas in order to translate the complicated areas of music and get all learners engaged and involved in making and enjoying music, not just the ones who are enrolled for instruments, but also the general learner. I hope you are able to incorporate some of these concepts into your own classes and perhaps be inspired. Thank you. So we will start with the introduction to rhythm. Rhythm is a fundamental aspect of music, and without paying much attention to it, or incidentally, we are encouraging learners' cognitive development in the areas of memory, attention, and problem solving, which all contribute to language and mathematics. Looking at language development, the rhythmic patterns mirror the patterns found in language, such as syllable stress and intonation, and by recognizing these similarities, children can improve their linguistic abilities. With regards to syllable patterns, stress patterns, and intonation, when I say syllables, we break out the words into different segments. So you have banana or watermelon. The stress patterns is library, biology, education, climatology. It's where the emphasis falls in the word. And intonation patterns is the natural rise and fall when speaking. So I love you would have a descent. What do you do? Or what a beautiful day. In Group 5, we start the learners off with these 5 fundamental rhythms. This was inspired by an educator who teaches violin here at our school, and he often uses these rhythm or rhythmic concepts in order to start the learners off, and this helps them when performing the rhythms, when they're able to clap it first. So we look at the rhythms, and we have the first one as Coca-Cola Fanta, or Simba Chippy, strawberry, strawberry, marshmallow, marshmallow. I love you. The is obviously the crotchet rest. So you will notice I've created little videos for our learners, and in this rhythms it emphasizes these rhythms, and this is for the group 5s. So Coca-Cola Fanta. So the learners will follow the blocks and they will clap it. So you'll see it goes Coca-Cola Fanta. So the learners clap it, they follow the blocks, and they're able to follow through with the rhythms. When we take it further on to grade R, similar rhythmic patterns are used, but different words, so the learners are able to make that connection. So if we look at the rhythm, the first rhythm, pepperoni pizza's got the same rhythmic pattern that Coca-Cola Fanta had. So we have here pepperoni pizza. So the learners will clap on every syllable to break the word up and to make their own rhythmic patterns. At some point, we will actually ask them in grade 3 to renotate what they're clapping so that they can actually visually see the note values come alive. So when we look at mathematics, we all know this, that rhythmic notation offers a unique gateway to mathematical understanding in young children. So this is fractions, division, patterns, or sequences. When you're looking at the note values, I love to tell the children, this is how long you keep a sound going before stopping it. So when singing or playing the piano, how long do you keep the sound going before stopping it? That is normally the duration, and that's what the note value is emphasizing or indicating by use of a symbol. This note value diagram is something that I draw onto the board. I sometimes use an apple, and then I'll divide the apple for the learners to be able to see the concept of a whole note, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes. This just helps with that, being able to understand how do all the notes fit into one another when explaining note values to the learners, when they're able to actually associate it with something that they understand. In grade 3, they start looking at note values. We then change it over to the French time names as well. In grade 2 and 3, you'll notice there's tate, tate, ta, ta. That is our Coca-Cola Fanta or pepperoni pizza. And then the Simba Chippies is tate, 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 tate. And then you have ta, tate, ta, tate, your hot cocoa. And we've changed, we had marshmallow, but often the children would confuse strawberry and marshmallow and bubblegum. So we changed the rhythm in group grade R to bubblegum. So it'd be bubblegum for the triplets. In grade 2 and 3, we start changing a bit by drawing different kinds of patterns on the board for learners to clap. They will then clap these using French time. You'll notice on the first one is simple ones. We only go up to quavers in grade 2 and 3. By grade 4, we introduce the semi-quavers. So rhythmic notation encourages children to recognize and reproduce patterns, which is essential in language and mathematics. So when we want to sell our subjects to management, we need to obviously always emphasize what is the benefits of it. So in mathematics, this is the ability to identify patterns. It's fundamental to solving problems and understanding mathematical concepts. I always say learners need to understand that a number is not just a picture, but it's actually a quantity. We're speaking about something. And when we are showing children how they can manipulate this in music, they get a better understanding of what the value of one is, as opposed to just seeing it as a picture in class. As we take it further onto time signatures, I always speak about time signatures as being how many beats there are in a bar. The time signature will tell you more or less the meter that you are going to experience, and that the top number tells you how many beats there are in a bar, and the bottom number tells you crotchet beats. Your really intelligent children will automatically see this. Oh, this looks like the quarter note. And then you can explain to them, yes, that bottom number tells you that they're all quarter notes, that's the crotchet, and that goes back to the diagram that you previously saw. So with the examples, this is what I often display on the board. So the 4/4 is 4 crotchet beats in a bar, 2/4, 2 crotchet beats in a bar, 3/4, 3 crotchet beats in a bar. So again, I always emphasize this, the rhythmic notation, language, and mathematics all involve cognitive processing. So looking at the benefits of using percussion instruments when teaching rhythm. Tactile and kinesthetic learning. The percussion instruments such as drums, tambourines, xylophones require physical interaction. When children strike, shake, or tap these instruments, they not only hear the sound produced, but also feel the vibrations through their hands and bodies. This tactile feedback enhances their understanding of rhythm by allowing them to physically sense the duration and timing of the beats. So this enhanced engagement is physically playing a drum or other percussion instrument captures the attention and interest, leading to higher motivation. When we get learners who often get distracted in class, when they're involved in their own learning, they are 100% focused on what they're doing and will tend to really enjoy and be more encouraged to participate in your lessons. With regards to the immediate feedback, percussion instruments allow for that. The learners are able to correct their timing and understanding the consequences of their actions. They often will feel that they're not in rhythm with everybody else or not following you as their teacher, and will try and figure out what is going on, what's going wrong, and fix what they're doing. And that is what we want for learners to be able to analyze and reflect on how their actions are actually incorrect and then fix it on their own. This is where the true learning takes place. When we introduce the learners to pitch, I we use the same rhythms. Here we've got the pepperoni pizza for grade R's as an example again. Chicken nuggets, hot cocoa, bubblegum, and I love food. This is how it is notated. In grade 3, they see this. It becomes more visual for them. We also then include color to the notation for the learners to be able to follow. You'll notice that this also helps learners read in their books in language. They have to learn to read from left to right. So from the beginning, if we start them early, they get used to following through. So with the rhythm, you'll see I then take it further where we actually start adding color to the note values. So the learner is now able to follow, and you'll notice that this starts on red, which is the C, moves to orange, which is the D, E, yellow, and then the green, which is F, and then the G, the garage, which is blue. So these are on our glockenspiels which we make use of, and they're colorful, and the learners learn the ascending and the descending pattern when playing this. I normally take the learners through a journey with color. I call it color coding music notation. Everybody's into robotics and coding these days. So we color code the music notation for learners to be able to actually see and follow much more easily on the stage what they're doing, as well as on the glockenspiel or using handbells and boomwhackers. All these colors are all similar to those instruments, and we are able to combine them for the learners. By color coding music notation, this simplifies the process of identifying and recognizing musical notes. Each note is associated with a specific color. It becomes easier for young children to differentiate between notes and understand their pitch. So I take it a step further with government schools. They've started recently with the 6 bricks, and I've been working with a few teachers within the foundation phase, trying to incorporate 6 bricks into the general classroom, where learners are learning music notation using 6 bricks. They would work in groups of 4, and every learner gets a stack of 6 bricks. We use up until the light blue block actually for the learners, because that's the C, D, E, F, G, and they will then build rhythms and manipulate rhythms using the blocks. So with the semi-brief in the groups of 4 is the maximum of blocks that they can get. So we let them build blocks or stack them next to each other, the 4 red, 4 yellow, orange, yellow, green, blue. The 4 is your semi-brief. So without letting them see the actual note value, they will already begin to identify the duration. Here we get to the number concepts and value of how much each note value is worth. So the semi-brief is 4. Then we have the minim, which is 2. They've got the 2 blocks. And then your crotchets, which is each one a single beat. The glockenspiel, I tell the learners a nice little story about Father Charles. I'm just going to skim through this. So Father Charles, then we move on to the dam, the elephants, 4x4. He has to go through the magical forest. And the 4x4, he parks his car in the garage. And then we move on to reading this on the stage. So there's middle C, Father Charles. He wears a hat. And then we've got the dam, the elephant, 4x4, garage. So the highest note would be G. The highest note is G. Looking at the rhythm, we then put it on staff notation in grade 3, so the learners are now being able to see where middle C is actually situated, recognize that Father Charles wears a hat, that ledger line is his hat, and then we go up by steps using spacing lines. We'll play little songs which I manipulate those values into the colors so that learners are able to play then the pattern that they see on the page or on the screen, which is in front of them on the glockenspiel, or using handbells. You can have them each one do a Hocketing kind of effect where each child has a different bell or boom whacker, and they'll play their color well in order to make the melody continue. That's how you help them with timing and rhythm, and everybody has fun in the classroom. We take it a step further into grade 4. Into grade 4, we then introduce the learners into the recorder. And you'll see there we've got B, because then we go A and then G. So we end off with G in grade 3. And then we start off with B, A, and G. So we work our way from the top of the recorder down to G, and then all the way back down to C. And then the high C and high D and low D, and yeah, the children just get involved in all the learning when it comes to playing the recorder. This is an example of the activities that they do. They'll then play this further. This continues into grade 8 and 9 as well. All our learners are involved in learning to play these instruments using music notation. They learn the note names of the stave, and predominantly the treble stave. In grade 4, they work from the bass stave as well, because we do that within the theory side of things in our class music lessons. And then learners are learning about transposing, taking what they see in the treble clef into the bass clef, and so on and so forth. This does develop further. It does lay a great foundation when you get into grade 10 to 12. We generally end off in grade 9 with our circle of fifths, laying a nice foundation into what all grade 10 to 12 has in store when it comes to learning keys and being able to manipulate music into all these different keys and key signatures. Using Father Charles from the foundation phase, learners often get inspired and they realize, wow, Father Charles goes down and ends battle. It becomes something that they're familiar with, and it builds a wonderful, wonderful foundation for being able to choose it as a subject, hopefully in grade 10 to 12, and lay a solid foundation while they're still eager and they don't ask so many questions. That's the key concept. It's just getting kids excited about what we do and exposing all kids to that. So I would like to say thank you to you for listening to my presentation. Thank you for spending time with me. And I hope that you're inspired to try some of these things in your own classroom and get to have fun with your kids. Have a wonderful day.